Hi guys, another really quick video just because I wanted to get my point across. And by the way, I just realized that my videos are actually kind of a diary of the poor plant on the back dying. I am really a bad plant mom, but well, it is what it is. So I was thinking about this a lot lately, and I was talking about this to many of my friends because that's something that I'm working on, and some of my friends simultaneously as well. And I have noticed that people really don't like uncertainty. So we want to control as many things as we want, we want to control as many things as we can. And we want to kind of know how everything is going to end, and we want to prepare for the every possible outcome of a situation because we don't like chaos and we want to have this sensation of being in charge. One of the reasons or one of the ways that people want this control is they want to either plan everything out, my case and the case of some of my friends that I was talking to, and or people want guidance, or they want to get this certainty, they want to get this control, the promise that everything is going to be fine from someone else. And this is why people turn to astrologers, tarot readers, and stuff like that to gain some kind of insight and to prepare themselves for something that is coming. But the truth is, we cannot control anything. Basically, we can control ourselves and our thoughts to an extent, but we cannot control the outside situations. And a lot of people try to put a lot of effort and a lot of pressure into controlling the people around them. It can be the loved ones, it can be people at work. Some of the worst bosses, I think, are the ones that have most stress because they try to outsource their certainty by making everyone around them do what they want to be done the way that they want to be done, not understanding that even if they force people into doing what they want to do, it will not grant them the control and the certainty that they're looking for because it comes from here. Surprise, surprise. So what I was thinking is that actually the only certainty that we actually need is the certainty that we got ourselves. No matter what happens in the outside world, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what happens, we have ourselves. We can be in the middle of the chaos of the storm, but if we know that no matter what, we got this, this is powerful. And I have been learning this, and something happened to me recently, which kind of gave me a mini spiritual awakening. I arrived to the airport like 10 minutes before my plane was leaving, and I'm not exaggerating, it was really like 12 minutes. And somehow I got into the plane. I was completely sure that I'm gonna miss it. I mean, the airport is tiny and so on, but like no one gets in the plane in 10 minutes. I just let go of the expectations in this moment. I realized that I was late. It was my fault. I didn't check the time. I realized that I was late like 15 minutes before the flight and I was not even at the airport yet. And then I just let go of the entire control. I came to the airport already believing that I was not gonna get it. And I got it, and I don't know how. I just ran, and then somehow everything turned out to be fine. Like, there is more details to the story, but in the end, I was sitting with all this adrenaline like rushing through my body in the plane, and I was thinking, this was the time that I was put in the circumstances where I don't have control over the security in the airport. I don't have the control over anything, basically. Like, they could have not let me in because it's outrageous to come to a plane like 10 minutes before. But everything worked out in my favor. And I'm not saying that like it's the law of attraction or whatever, that like I made it happen. But it taught me not to really kind of focus on how things are going to happen, but just know that they are going to happen. Because for me, it was very important to catch that flight. And I was actually ready to buy another ticket for another plane, which was super expensive, by the way. But I was kind of mentally ready. I was like, well, okay, if I'm so stupid, I'm gonna pay for it. I think that I will start applying that to life in general, because in the end, I think that by kind of wanting to put all this control on many things around us, as I said, we put it on people around us when they don't really behave the way that we want them to behave. And we think that by fixing their behavior, we will fix things in ourselves that actually their behavior triggers, when it works the other way around. If we are triggered by someone's behavior, it's not their problem, it's our problem. It's us who we need to fix and not them. And I'm not saying that if someone mistreats you or bullies you or does some really nasty shit that you have to tolerate it and work on yourself. But in this case, the self-work is getting away from this kind of people and understanding why in the first place you relate yourself to the people like this, or why you kind of engage in relationships like this, and why you put yourself in a position where you're treated like this. And in general, with everything that happens around us, we want to apply control to the physical circumstances, which we actually have very little control over, instead of applying control inside of ourselves to keep us calm. I think it is also like a very Buddhist thing. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something like, the one who masters their own mind masters the universe, more or less. Which, I mean, it's a long shot. Of course, we are not gonna get enlightened in this lifetime by any means, most of us at least. But I think it's just so important to know that the only certain thing in life is change. Like, the only constant is change. And especially the last 2 years as a humanity has taught us this. We can control even less as we were able to before. And I think it's such a huge lesson which we as a humanity should learn, just to let go of our ideas of how things should be and focus on what we want to get and not focus on how we want to get there. And I also think like we would save so much energy by just releasing our idea of how things should be. I have been going through a really bad crisis in September, October, beginning of November. And I realized that if I wouldn't resist it from the beginning, if I would just let things kind of develop the way they were developing, I might have saved a lot of time and energy. And didn't happen. I needed to learn it the hard way, apparently. But I'm just thinking, for example, I was talking to this friend of mine. I'm just not making any sense, but I'm trying to give you as many examples as I can. I was talking to a friend of mine who was trying to organize a trip for herself and her boyfriend, group of friends. And she was like, I cannot, because like no one is working together with me, and I want everything to be like I want it to be, because I know that if everyone is gonna just fail to do their part, I'm not gonna have a good time, and I want to have a good time. And she was really desperate to control everything, everyone, that everyone is there on time, that everyone is doing exactly what she wants them to do. And I was like, do you think you can control all these people? And she was like, no, but I want it to be as kind of under control as possible. And I'm like, what is your purpose overall? Like, what do you want from this trip? And she was like, I want to have fun. And I'm like, are you having fun right now? And she's like, no, I'm having the least fun ever. It's the opposite of fun that I'm doing right now. And I was like, isn't it defeating the purpose in itself? Like, you could just kind of relax a little bit and let things be as they are and focus on the goal of having fun. And then even if something would go wrong, something would not go the way that she expected it to be, she would still be fine, because the goal would be to have fun, and she would find ways to have fun. But because she was so focused on how she wanted things to look like, because this was her idea of how the world should be in order for her to have fun. But for example, what if there would be a storm that day or something else that she couldn't control? And then even with all the preparation, you cannot really prepare for absolutely everything, because the world is a chaos. There are so many parameters that we cannot think of, or we cannot even see, or whatever. So I'm just saying, focus on the overall goal and don't let the external circumstances distract you from what you really want. Have fun in the process, and accept that a lot of the times things are gonna be not as you want them to be. And it's totally fine. And you can deal with it. And you can find ways to have fun even when stuff is not going the way that you want it to go. Okay, I hope that it was somewhat inspiring. I had, as always, a lot of fun just randomly talking about things that come into my mind. I'm really grateful for all of you, and like for everyone that comments, the people that comment on a regular. I already knew you, I feel like you're friends, and I'm just really grateful that there are people that are willing to listen to my random thoughts and opinions. So have a nice day. Love you very much. Be nice to yourself and to other people, and see you in the next video. Bye.